applause for this incredible film. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's an honor. My name is Ana Zamora. I am the founder and CEO of the Just Trust, and we are so proud to be partnering with this incredible film to get it all across America. Thank you for joining us tonight. At the Just Trust, we are 100% focused on transforming the justice system in America. We provide funding, we provide collaboration, and we like to partner on projects like this. Our goal is to make sure that we can make progress on this very important issue in every single state in this country, no matter who holds political power. I love this film. To me, this film reminds us that people inside prison are, in fact, people. People like my own brother, who was in and out of jail and prison for my whole life, and who was often reduced to the worst thing that he did, despite being my hero and one of the most incredible men I've ever met. I hope and I know that this film can remind us all that redemption and the capacity for people to change and grow should be at the heart of our approach to justice in this country, not a rare or lucky find. And now I am very excited for what we all are waiting for right now. I want to have a conversation with some very special guests. And first, I want to introduce, again, Greg Cuellar, the director of this amazing film.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. There's a lot of room on this stage, and I want to bring out some wonderful people at the core of this community. First, I'd like to bring back to the stage the co-writer, producer, and my best friend, Clint Bentley. The person who really helped cultivate this wonderful community and lead it with us, producer Monique Walton. As you all just felt, this movie wouldn't be what it is without the people who really live this story. We have some very special guests. I hope you show some love, the same love that we all feel for them. First, I'd like to bring out Sean Dino Johnson. John Adrian, JJ Velasquez. The real John Divine G. Whitfield. Starring in his first feature film, Clarence Divine Eye Macklin. Also, this movie wouldn't be what it is without a man who brought forth all of his soul, all of his beauty, and all his light. Star and executive producer Coleman Domingo.
We don't have a lot of time, but good news. There is a reception after, so we can keep the conversation going. I'm just going to kickstart it right here, okay? I would like to start with the incredible RTA stage actors turned screen actors. Y'all know who you are. When I've seen this film, as I watched this film, and I watched it a couple of times, the theme that stands out to me the most is this idea of brotherhood, of forming bonds. Can you share a little bit about how you all worked in the film to convey that sense of community on screen? And also, what is its role in the rehabilitative process? I'd like to hear from all of you, if we can.
Okay, well, I'll start. Well, the role that brotherhood plays in RTA is very essential because being that this program was born in a place that is very predatory. And in order to trust somebody enough to open up and deliver stories like this, or even to search out stories like this, to share them with somebody, it would have to be your brother. It couldn't be just a passing friend. So these bonds were built because they were necessary. We had to have a brotherhood, a bond, something strong, in order to hold us, in order to keep our own sanity, in order to rely on one another, you know?
I would say, I think what brought us together is we realized we had more in common than differences. And then there's that human aspect, you know, humanity recognizes humanity.
Well, for me, what really catapulted me to really see the beauty and the power of RTA is that when we started this program, me, I'm a founding member as well as Dino. When we started this program and we did this one play, we saw the impact that it just had on us, the audience, prison administrators, the officers, and we realized that we had, you know, a beautiful gift, man, because the power of arts is just so transformative, it's so rehabilitative, it's just so restorative that, you know, we just knew we had to continue this process. And I just want to make one note, RTA has a recidivism level of less than 3%. Less than 3%. In comparison to the national average of 60%. 60% of other people that don't go through a program like this come back within 3 years. So I'm saying, we saw that we had a potential solution for this recidivism just by doing something basic, building community, showing love, showing brotherhood, you know, fellowship. And, you know, we just had to keep it going, and we were blessed to have Craig, Coleman, Monique, Clint, and all of them decide to let us take this to a whole new level. And I want to thank y'all for being here, and please put the word out. Put that word out.
Turns out that there are myriad of programs, and we saw one feature.
There's one more person about to speak.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Um,
Yes, so sorry.
No, it's no problem whatsoever. I think what's important for people to realize is the level of love that was put into creating this film, right? And it trickled from RTA into the set. And there was just this sense of camaraderie, love, support, family, and that's what made the magic that you guys were able to witness. This was a gift for us to each other, and the gift that we're sharing with the world now, right? And the reality is, we're just people. Everybody on that screen, to the people that we're depicting, that are actually incarcerated in this world, they're still human beings, right? And the sooner that we start to see each other at eye level, heart to heart, and start recognizing humanity in each other, and start lifting up the human dignity that we're supposed to actually, like, corral as humans together, that's when life will start to change for all of us. It took some of us decades before our lives started to change, but it has changed, and we're here before you now to prove it. And what that proves to you is that you can change too. It's never too late.
Anybody else? JJ, sorry about that. Thank you all. Thank you. You're teaching all of us that there's a lot more that we have to do in order to help build community, build healing, and that our current prison system is just not doing that very well. But programs like RTA really do help, and we need a lot more of them. Speaking of innovative programs, nice segue. I want to turn now to you three. I don't know if you all know this, but this film has employed a really interesting pay structure that I think is worth talking about here and far and wide. It's really innovative. Can I pass it on to you to share with this audience what you all did?
Sure, I'm sorry to get to jump in. So one of the things that we wanted to do in this film, what Greg and Clint call community-based filmmaking, was really ground the film in our values, which are like values of empathy, of compassion, of mutual respect. And so Greg and Clint had developed this pay structure that they wanted to, on their previous film, which was called Jockey, that they wanted to bring to Sing Sing. And when I came on board, they asked if I could help scale it up for this project. So the idea behind it is that everyone gets paid the exact same rate. So across the board, all of us on this stage, our entire crew, top to bottom, everyone gets paid the same rate, and then everyone participates in the profits, which we felt was the best way to tell this story when so many people are bringing their lived experience to the screen, that everyone becomes a stakeholder. And we really felt that what it did is it set a tone, it set a culture, and it empowered people because everyone felt ownership.
But where did that idea come from?
It came from just, as Monique said, we were putting together our previous film, Jockey, and we knew we were going to have to do it for a very small budget, which many independent filmmakers find themselves in that place. And we just, as we were kind of pressure testing it, we wanted to answer some of the problems that we had seen in independent film. And that is that, namely, a lot of people get asked to work for free or nothing on independent film, but then some people hold their ground, and then you've got big pay disparities between people on the same crew. And then at the same time, if an indie film does well, which very few do, but some do, the ones that do well, 4 or 5 people really benefit, and the rest get left behind. And we just wanted to do something that was more fair than that.
Pretty innovative. Thank you all for doing that.
I want to add to the structure element, but more just, again, to kind of the spirit underneath it was, what does it mean to be a community-based filmmaker? And I think for us, we care a lot about the community we're working within. What does it mean to actually come in and listen first, and not create a transactional environment, but an exchange? That's really at the core that drives us. And if that is the values that we're talking about, we have to question every aspect of a process and ask, is this living up to that ethos? And can this be more fair? Can this be healthier? Can this be more supportive? And if you really examine a process at almost a microscopic level, it creates space for the most wonderful surprises that shows in the work itself.
I agree 100%. I think that spirit that you all baked into the fee structure, it oozes out of every aspect of this film in a really beautiful way. Thank you for championing this. Coleman, can I turn it to you? Sure. I, as a lifelong criminal justice reform advocate, and for those of you in the room, I see you. I firmly believe that this film has the power to really amplify the work that I have spent my entire career doing, and day in and day out think about. I think that one of the reasons it can do that is because of its authenticity, because of, from soup to nuts, of how you all have approached this, and what you brought to the stage and what all of these actors brought to the screen, I guess. Can you talk a little bit about that authenticity of this film, from its storytelling to its production? How did it feel different for you to participate in this? Bring that authenticity to life for us.
Well, that's a great question. And I'll say it's rare. That's the first word that came to mind. It's rare. like you said, from top to bottom. All the way through, it's been sincere, it's been gentle, it's been tender, and it's been kind. It's been inclusive, all the way from asking me to come on board when there wasn't a script, to saying, hey, we will gather and develop a script together. With this brother, we gather together with our ideas and thoughts based on these true stories of these gentlemen here who gave their stories as well. And everyone believing, we all that everyone had the right intentions. Even being the pay structure, all of it, it just trickled all the way down to the way that we're actually, our partners at 824, and the fact that we had some options to go with distributors, which has been wonderful. But they had the right heart and the right integrity and intention of where it started. And then as we're on this journey of taking this film out into the world, it has been intentional and kind and gentle, because we do believe, I think that we do believe that we're reaching out with a lot of love, because I think that that's what we poured into the film. And it's rare when you actually see it happen, when the intention actually meets the product. That's what it feels like. It feels like I feel like we're out on the road, and we've been out on the road now for a little bit. We're a little, right? We've been out on the road, but I feel like it feels like we're starting our own church in some way. Now, nothing organized, okay? Don't get it twisted. But it's like I feel like we're preaching, but we're preaching to the good of humanity and the possibility of what we could do or what we can be. Listen, in this beautiful museum that we're in, there's the hull of slave ships all the way rising up to the top, right? If that isn't possibility, if that isn't faith or in belief, come on. It's extraordinary that we're here with this film, because I think a lot of what is held in this building is in the hearts of every single servant, and every single servant that has been in service to each other. How you made sure that you went in to repair each other. You didn't wait for the system to do it. You did it yourself. And I'm so proud to be on the stage with you, brothers. I'm so proud to do this work with you, because it's rare. And I thank you for it. And I thank you for making the choice to come here and be with us tonight. And I really hope that you become advocates for this film and share it, because this is exactly who we are, and who we, I think, aspire to be when we really look at something as being human. This is no prison film at all. The container is a maximum security prison, but it's about the possibility of what we could become.
Thank you, Coleman. That was beautiful. And you hit on something that I actually I'm gonna have one last question, but I would love everybody to weigh in here. So I think this is the church. You mentioned that we're starting something here, right? You all are starting something here. And I know that, when you go to church, there's always things you gotta do, right? There's calls to action. There's some work to do.
Pass the plate.
That's right. Pass the plate. Don't worry, this is not going to turn into a fundraiser. If anybody wants to give, help you with that. No, but this bill, like I said, I think it has the power to make a difference. And so I would love you all to think for a second, besides being an advocate for this film, what else? What is another call to action that you would love everybody in this audience and everybody who sees this film to do after they see this film? When they get the butts out of the seats, how do we get people to act, and what would you like them to do?
Start here and just get it out.
That's what I was going to do.
Alright. Because I don't want to follow any of these people. I really believe I think what we're doing is we're not making an intellectual argument here. We're making an emotional one. And we don't want to prescribe so directly what that impact can mean for each of you, because it, again, as Coleman says, it's a container for a much larger story that begins with all of us. But if you look at the container, and I hope we look a little closer now, and that we feel the human potential behind the walls. Not just potential to be in movies, but potential to come into our communities, return home, healthier, stronger, and actually lift our world up and help put it back on its feet. That's what I would love to see.
The thing that's always struck me so much in this whole process, Greg and I have been working on this for 8 years now, and it still strikes me as much now as it did when it started, is this program is incredible. And John gave us the numbers that they can't lie, and they show that impact more than anything else. And I think the thing that still strikes me is that this wasn't started by a think tank somewhere or a well-meaning superintendent at a prison or something like that. It was started by a few people who saw a need on the inside, coupled with a few people on the outside who wanted to help make that happen, Catherine Dawkins. And they just did it. They were just people, and they saw a need, and they started answering it, and they did it. And whatever that thing is, we all can find that need somewhere around us, in our community, in our schools, in our homes, whatever it is, and just start answering that little need. And if we all do that, then the world will be a little bit nicer when we leave it than it is right now.
That's good. Yeah, I think that one of the things that this working on this film forced me to sit with was, and it's like we know this films come out every 3 years, every few years, and talk about the prison industrial complex, but just how many people we incarcerate in this country, and how it's built to be invisible. So you forget that there are so many people, and that we're actually we incarcerate the most of our population, more than any other country. So I don't know if I think that sitting with that and really, really considering how to imagine changing that and what it might mean for you would be one action. And then, I think that the film just was proof to me that we heal each other in community. So if you need that, or if you know someone who does, try to find a way to, be together and make that happen.
We live in a world where people are loving things and using other people, when it really should be loving other people and using other things. So I would like you to walk away with, when you look at another human being, don't look at them for where they're at, how they look. See them for who they could be.
Paused intentionally hoping that you would clap. In a world that's often divided by labels and stereotypes, it's time for us to use this film as a platform to create a new symphony of compassion and understanding. And so what I would ask, particularly to you because you're local here in DC, I'm the program director for the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice. Google the Douglass Project and go visit a prison. Proximity is the key to humanity.
Well, when I was in prison, I was a jailhouse lawyer, right? And as a jailhouse lawyer, I used to help other prisoners. And in prison, we had a system where we would pay prisoners like cigarettes, stamps, anything of monetary gain. I had a policy where when I helped somebody and I did legal work for them, I didn't want any kind of materialistic thing from them. The only thing I asked them to do is to do exactly what I'm asking them to do. pass on any kind of gift I give you, pass it on to someone else so that we make caring, helping, loving, and healing contagious. I'm asking y'all to do something similar to that. If you can help somebody, help them, and help them from your heart, and help them with love, and just try to make love contagious wherever you go.
I think that, what I would like for you to take what was written on the wall somewhere around here by one of our heroes. I'd like to quote that for you quick. It says that we are determined to work and fight until justice falls like water, and until righteousness runs like a mighty stream. Martin Luther King said that. And I think that that's at the essence of what RTA is about. We are willing to work and fight until everybody's on this loving page that we on, and everybody's on this communal page that we on. This is how we intend to change the world, with this gift that we gave you.
I'm glad I'm the last one because there's nothing left to say. They said it all. I think that this film is a gift of radical love in so many forms, especially deconstructing male relationships as well. I think we need to see more images of tenderness between men. As I got to know these brothers, I saw the way they would, create space for each other, feel. That thing as black and brown men in this world, most say we shouldn't feel, and to turn us into monsters in some way. But it's radical that we're doing the opposite. That we're actually saying, we're calling each other beloved. And so take that word with you, transform it. And I think that this film is already working on you as it's worked on us. And I think that's what I hope that you take with you. That's all. Just that radical love and that love-big gift that I think that was made by my comrades up here. It's now for you. Let this film be yours. Let this film be yours, and please share it. That's all I ask of you.
Thank you all so much for allowing me to participate in this conversation and to sit on the stage with you all. It's a true honor. Thank you for sharing your stories, and thank you for bringing this film to the world, and for spreading radical love. We have a reception right out the door. Please keep the conversation going here and at home and forever. And thank you all so much for coming, and thank you all again.